is injustice ante? Treating equals unequally and treating unequals equally is injustice. That is what Socrates has said. If all of us are ఒకే తెలుగు జాతి, ఏదో సినిమా ఫకీలో వాళ్ళు ఏదో తెలుగు జాతి, వెలుగు జాతి, నిండు జాతి ఏదో అని పాటలు సీమాంధ్ర ఎడ్యుకేషన్లో బ్యాక్గ్రౌండ్ ఎన్టీవీ లాంటి ఛానల్స్లో వింటుంటాం. మరి అందరూ తెలుగు జాతి అయితే, అందరూ సమానులే అయితే, ఈ విధమైనటువంటి మనం అంటాము దోపిడీ అని, దాన్ని ఇంగ్లీష్లో కావాలంటే లూట్ అనండి, గ్రోస్ ఇన్జస్టిస్. వై ఆర్ ఈక్వల్స్ బీయింగ్ ట్రీటెడ్ అన్ఈక్వల్లీ? ఇంతకంటే ఇంజస్టిస్కి ఇరిగేషన్ సెక్టార్లో జరిగినటువంటి వాస్తవాలను మనం గుర్తు చేసుకుంటే వేరే ఎగ్జాంపుల్ అక్కర్లేదు. పవర్ సెక్టర్ కూడా అట్లనే. సరే, ఇరిగేషన్ సెక్టర్ గురించి మాట్లాడేటటువంటి కెపాసిటీ, అబిలిటీ నాకు లేదు, నా బ్యాక్గ్రౌండ్ కాదు అది. అట్లనే పవర్ సెక్టర్ గురించి ఇరిగేషన్లో శ్యామ్ గారు మాట్లాడినారు. పవర్ సెక్టర్లో ఎలక్ట్రిసిటీ చేసి రఘు గారు, ఆయన ఓన్లీ వీళ్ళందరూ కూడా నాకు టీవీ పరిచితులే, వ్యక్తిగతంగా పరిచయాలు లేవు. సో ఆయన వివరంగా చెప్పటం జరిగింది. సో ఆ రెండు విషయాలు అయితే నేను రాయలేదు, కానీ నావి కొన్ని వ్యూస్ జాట్ డౌన్ చేసినాను. ఒకటేంటంటే అగ్రికల్చర్ అండ్ రూరల్ ఎకానమీ అనే హెడింగ్లో వీ హ్యావ్ ఎక్స్ట్రీమ్ అగ్రికల్చరల్ distress in the rural economy. Unless agriculture and the rural economy are uplifted, I don't think that we will be able to restore economic health in the nation, including in the would-be Telangana state. So నేనేమనుకుంటానంటే, we have certain givens. One is soil, one is weather, the other is water. With these three as a given, what kind of crops will go with these three givens? What are the pluses that are inherent in this situation, and how should we leverage these pluses? Maybe experts in agriculture can tell us, but it is essential, I feel, that we should have soil and water cultivation, water harvesting and recharging of groundwater aquifers. We have to revive, I feel, agricultural tanks which were aplenty in Telangana, and we have to institute best practices regarding soil and water use. We have the example of Israel, which is a desert. Basically, it is not even a semi-arid place, it's a desert, and yet they have a large degree of self-sufficiency in food. So we have to do something like that to institute best practices regarding soil and water use, so that we improve productivity and economize on any scarcities that we may have, and we will leverage our pluses. We have to do, I think, with an imaginative mix of crops. Rice is a traditional crop, but at the same time you have a variety of millets, coarse grains, jonalu, koralu, etc. in Telangana region, and they are coming into vogue more and more with awareness about the negativities of polished white rice, with increase in diabetes, increase in cardiovascular disease. More people are going for coarse grains and millets for their nutritive value. Therefore, we can also, I think, leverage the fact that these have been traditional crops in Telangana. But at the same time, we may also see where we can have oil seeds, vegetables, plantations. They have introduced dates in Gujarat. Dates have been traditionally there in Rajasthan, but in Gujarat they have taken to cultivating imported date varieties in large measure and exporting them back. So this is another option in places which are semi-arid, where we can have these kind of imaginative mix of traditional and modern crops. For all this would be Telangana state would have to have very good, effective agricultural extension services along with marketing assistance. This is what I feel. During the regime of the Telugu Desam under Mr. Chandrababu Naidu, agricultural extension services, because of a move to corporatize agriculture, వాటన్నిటిని ధ్వంసం చేయడం జరిగింది. అగ్రికల్చరల్ ఎక్స్టెన్షన్ సర్వీసెస్ లేకుండా పోయినాయి. కార్పొరేటైజేషన్, బీటీ సీడ్స్ అండ్ ప్రొడ్యూస్, ఈ విధమైనటువంటి ఇంట్రొడక్షన్ వల్ల ఈ ఎక్స్టెన్షన్ సర్వీసెస్ దెబ్బతిన్నాయి. దానిని మళ్ళీ తెలంగాణలో రివైవ్ చేసి ఈ విధమైనటువంటి imaginative mix of crops, leveraging our pluses for better agricultural management cheyali, marketing assistance kuda farmers ki ivvali, storage for this produce to eliminate waste, and wherever possible agro based industries అనేటటువంటిది అగ్రికల్చర్ అండ్ రూరల్ ఎకానమీ రివైవల్ గురించి నా మనసుకు తోచినటువంటి 4 పాయింట్స్ రాస్తాను. Then next I thought of urban development. It is necessary to ensure that the Hyderabad metropolitan area or megalopolis must be developed as an engine of growth for Telangana. We must also look at in what way, how best we can bring about urban renewal and revival through satellite townships and consequent decongestion. We have to somehow ensure financing and completion of the ongoing metro rail and have an urban transportation plan for trouble-free movement of traffic in the city. There is a need for very strong metropolitan policing for 24/7 safety. There is a need for people-friendly amenities, ambience and environment with best education and training to attract talent from everywhere. Why is it that America has such a vibrancy in its economy? It went down, but it is again coming up. Dollar is again coming up. It is because it attracts best talent by offering them education, by offering them amenities. So that is something which we must see if we can make Hyderabad do that to attract the best of talent from all over the country, of which there is aplenty. Talent is aplenty. If we attract, they will come. We must look at developing the Hyderabad urban agglomeration as a knowledge and services hub, along with a varied industrial base in surrounding industrial parks. There is a need for good road and rail interconnectivity with other towns in Telangana for fast and easy movement. You have people commuting between Pune and Bombay. Every day they go in the morning and they come back in the evening. You have people commuting between major cities which are 200 kilometers, 300 kilometers apart. They leave after breakfast, go in time for office. They leave in the evening by about 5:30, go back home for early dinner. This is what happens in Japan. On a regular basis, they move hundreds of thousands of workers to and from major urban centers including Tokyo. We should somehow consider this kind of a road and rail, primarily rail linkage between Hyderabad on the one hand, you have Nizamabad, you have Bhongir, you have Warangal, you have Nalgonda, you have Maroobnagar. This kind of interconnectivity has to be established in the future. You have to develop district towns as local growth centers for the district economy by locating appropriate manufacturing and service sectors or industries there. This is the second item that I had in mind. The third item that I had in mind was industry. There is a debate between growth and development. Growth with equity is now taking center stage. How is it that we can ensure growth while at the same time ensuring equity? Are we going to mine bauxite? Are we going to mine this particular mineral or that particular thing which may result in displacement? So we have other methodologies like the new land acquisition bill, etc., to ensure that growth does not lead to displacement and distress. Growth should not lead to pollution. So growth with equity is now what people are thinking about. As a result of this debate, which is not yet settled in our country, we are not able to leverage and utilize the fact that we have huge coal reserves, the fact that we have very, very large iron ore reserves, the fact that we have very large aluminum or bauxite reserves for rapid industrialization. We are not able to use these things. These issues have to be settled, and this settlement cannot be some kind of a farman or fiat from the top. It cannot be on the basis of crony capitalism. Some mechanisms have to be ensured in a participative way to ensure that this thing of growth versus equity is settled, so that we ensure growth and we ensure equitable development. With this kind of a small